Christina Scherwin is the COO of the Westport Weston Family YMCA, and she is perfect for that role. A two-time Olympian in the javelin for her native Denmark, Christina competed in the 2004 and 2008 Olympics and was a finalist at the 2005 World Championships. In 2022, she was inducted into the NCAA Hall of Fame as a collegiate athlete. Christina has also served on the Danish Olympic Athlete Commission and the World Athletics Athlete Commission. During her time at the University of Oregon, she coached an NCAA champion, a U.S. Olympic trials champion, and had participants in the World Championships, as well as the London and Rio Olympics. So, Christina, congrats and welcome to 06880, the podcast.
Thank you.
So, we're going to talk about the why, obviously, today, but what a great background as a competitive athlete. I think you're the first Olympian I've ever interviewed and certainly the first javelin thrower I know. So give us that story. How'd you get involved in javelin?
Oh, it goes way back. My native country is Denmark. I'm from Denmark, and I was a heptathlete to start with, but it just slowly evolved into me throwing the javelin. I was just above the other events in the javelin. And
someone just said, here's a javelin, why don't you throw it?
No, when you're a child in Denmark, you actually start throwing a ball. It's very random. I grew up by the ocean. I like to go down and throw rocks. It's so random. My first memory of an Olympics was 1984 in Los Angeles. I was like, oh, that looks really interesting. We're good in sailing, and like that would be cool for me to do one day. So that's always been in the back of my mind. And I started with track and field when I was like 11, 12 years old, and it just kind of developed from there. And just why the javelin? I don't know. I feel like the javelin kind of picked me. It was like coaches approached me and said, oh, you really should try and you really should do this. And at a very young age, I competed at World Juniors, and then it just kind of took off from there.
So what does it take to be a championship javelin thrower?
Consistency. I think it's the same for all sports. I may not have been the biggest talent in the world, but I was very consistent and I trained hard. I knew what I wanted to do, and just I put this goal in front of me, and I was lucky. Everything kind of came together. I mean, it doesn't always work that way, but I've definitely learned along the way. Consistency and hard work will take you a long way. And
what's of all the meets and championships you've been involved in, is there one singular memory, one great memory?
Without a doubt, World Championships in Helsinki 2005. I ended up being fourth, very close, but the winner broke the world record. Number two broke the European record. Number three, she also threw very far. It was just an incredible meet. Everybody seemed to break records. So by far my best memory. I mean, being fourth in the world was really a highlight for me at that time.
Is there a javelin community? Do you feel some kind
I was close to my competitors because at that time it was called, it's like it's a world tour, and you see the same people as a Diamond League. You see the same people all over. So I'm still friends with some of those people to this day. The girl that broke the European record, we're still friends. She's from Germany. So, small community.
But no javelin at the Y?
No javelin at the Y. I wish we had track and field. I wish track and field was stronger in this community. I know they're working hard at it at Staples, but it's hard. Yeah. You need a lot of space.
So what got you to the U.S.?
The U.S., I came as a student athlete.
The University of Oregon?
Not at the University of Oregon. I actually I lived in Philadelphia. That was my first place when I came. I went to a small university called Moravian University. It's Division III. And I just kind of had fun. I was able to do whatever I wanted in Division III. I was competing I did sprints, I did high jump, I did all the other events, so I could have fun there. And then I qualified for the Olympics my senior year. So they really gave me space to be able to develop into a good athlete.
Uh-huh. And how'd you end up in Westport?
Oh, there's a long way. So, because Philadelphia, Los Angeles, I trained at UCLA. Then I went to Oregon, mainly because of Nike. So when you're a javelin thrower, you're dependent on having a lot of space because you're throwing a javelin. So I had to go where there were stadiums that would allow that. Because I was a Nike-sponsored athlete, I ended up in Eugene, Oregon, of all places.
Great place.
Love that place. And so I ended my career there, and then the university pulled me in as a coach. So there was kind of a nice, soft transition from being an athlete to getting my first job in that sense.
And where does Westport fit in?
When I was on the West Coast, it was hard. I still have all my family's in Denmark. It was hard to be that far away from Europe. Westport is just a perfect mix of American, European influence, close to New York City. It's such a good community. It's a great community for kids. I have 2 children, so it's the best community for me. It's a place I've been the happiest while I lived in the U.S.
Wow. Did you just end up here, or did someone get you here?
I was married at the time, and my ex-husband had a connection to Westport. He used to work here, and he suggested it. We went here for a weekend. Like, looks pretty good.
Wow.
You can't beat Longshore, and Campo and all this. It's just, the town has so much to offer.
You mentioned a European, there really is a European influence here?
For me, because I'm probably also looking for it a little bit, but there are a lot of Europeans in this town. I have also great South African friends. There's a very international feel here for me, which I love. It's just a mix of everything here. It's a good balance, I feel like.
It really is. When I was coaching soccer at Staples, one year we had 66 players in the program, and 33 of them, so exactly half, had at least one parent born outside the U.S. And it was everything. Israel, South Africa, Colombia, you name it.
I love that. And we see that on the water rats. So there are over 200 swimmers, and there's a large amount of foreigners in that program, which is very cool.
So how did you end up as Chief Operating Officer of the YMCA?
So I served 4 years on the board at the Y, and the position opened up, and I had conversations with the CEO at the time, and just felt like it was a really good opportunity for me to move. At that time, I was in management consulting. I felt it was the perfect mix of me getting back to sports a little bit and being able to really develop youth still in sports. So it was just it fell in my lap, but it was the perfect opportunity I couldn't say no to.
You're a competitive athlete. The Y is not really competitive other than swimming and gymnastics, right?
Yeah, but I would argue in many ways we give space to the kids or youth that wants to be competitive, but we're for all, if that makes sense. But water rats, over 200 kids, gymnastics, competitive, over 100 kids. We have travel basketball now with 5 teams this fall, winter. So we're growing in wherever we can, but it's also important that not everybody wants to be a competitive athlete. And we have a lot of programming for those kids as well.
It is a very versatile place.
Yes.
I mean, the rhythm of the day must be really, really interesting.
It is. We have waves. We know how the day is going to go because it's like we have waves of very strong group fitness in the morning. Parents drop off their kids at school. Then they come and just do their workout before they have to go back home again. And then, you see a lot of special needs groups coming in the middle of the day. Then you're seeing the high schoolers coming in. And then we're flooded in the afternoon with kids' activities.
What's your favorite?
Oh, that's not a fair question. That's not a fair question. There's really, some of the groups I really find so, just like they touch me from day one. Parkinson group is one of the groups that really touched me. I cannot believe how strong that community is at the Y. And that's
You want to talk about what they do?
Yeah, Parkinson, of course, sadly is a very devastating disease, but the more they work out, the better they can, kind of push off the disease and manage their tremors. Boxing we're found to be very, very good for them. So they are so dedicated. They work out so many days a week. They box, they bike, they do dance classes, they do cardio, they do circuit training. they're very dedicated. They train hard, and that's just incredible to see. And the community among them is amazing.
And there's a lot of volunteers too.
A lot
right?
of volunteers in that group.
Wow.
Yeah, that group could not exist without volunteers, without a doubt, because it takes a lot of help to. I believe on a busy day, 30 to 40 Parkinson's participants will come in. It's incredible, and they work hard, very hard.
Yeah. What are some other groups that touch your heart?
Senior Strong is something that we have started. Judy Samuels, a healthy living director. She's just amazing. And in a lot of Ys, we have something called silver sneakers. And Judy was like, I can do this better. I don't want to be constrained to a certain set of someone telling me how to do it. So she developed her own program. Senior Strong is packed also. We're trying to add more days into weekends now because it's like the senior community. This is a community for them as well. They come and work out together. They keep each other accountable. And just to see how big that group has grown in the last 2 to 3 years is incredible.
Yeah. And I'm a swimmer, so I see the Aquafit people.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Aquafit?
Sure. Aquafit has a long history here. Patty, she's just incredible with that group. They work out. We have I don't even have the exact count. I believe we have about 20 classes a week for Aquafit. It's incredible. And that is both for, someone who's older, but also someone who had a joint replacement, someone who needs something that's easier on their joints. And that community also is very, very strong.
Yeah. So talk about your role as COO. What do you do? What's your day like?
I don't think 2 days are alike, and that's what I like about the job. But on an overall basis, of course, it's putting a strategy in place and making sure that we continue changing with the trends. So certain sports slowly are not as popular anymore, and we have to change. So this winter we have added in cheer tumbling. So we're trying to get into the cheer space as well, but we're supporting them from a tumbling perspective because we're very strong in gymnastics. Synchronized swimming we're trying to get into, again, to use the pool. Of course, we've added golf. We added mini golf in the summer, and now we're adding a golf simulator just to get into the golf space. It's showing that the youth really loves to work out with something that's like a computer screen. It gets them more motivated because we are seeing, and it's not just us, although we're seeing swim programs, gymnastics programs, starting to lose kids because we're fighting against social media, we're fighting against, all the other activities that are offered.
Wow.
So you have to constantly renew yourself and figure out how do we capture them because they have to work out too. They also have to be healthy, but we have to try and make it more fun because we're competing against so many other things. So the golf simulator is showing to really get the youth and the young kids involved at a higher level. We had a few classes set up here for the winter, and they're sold out right away.
Oh. And you said that the golf simulator is also a family-oriented
Very
offering.
much so. I'm very excited to see this. It wasn't even on my mind so much when I brought the simulator to the Y, but yesterday in the simulator there was a family that had rented the space, and it was a mother, father, 2 young kids, and a grandfather, and they all played together. It was really amazing to see. They get this space for themselves for an hour, and they get to hang out as a family. And it's rare you see that they can do an activity like that together.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that a lot. The families, mothers, fathers, that bring their kids into the simulator with them because you can play fun games besides, all the serious courses.
How many courses?
There are 500 courses that you can play. And on top of that, there are fun games for the kids to really get them, involved and excited about it.
Yeah. You mentioned that you have to always kind of look at the offerings and make sure that you're giving members what they want. And so as you look, how long have you been there as COO?
A little over 3 years.
What do you look to and say, wow, this is something I've really been able to accomplish, to achieve?
I think there are a lot of things, but if I look at something like basketball, I'm very happy with what we did with basketball. So we partnered up with PAL in town. We were very small in travel basketball, and we will always be small. We only have one basketball court. But we sat down with David Goldshaw, who is the high school coach, and he said, I really would like one direction in Westport to strengthen high school basketball. If we teach the kids the same systems, the same kind of conditioning, everything the same, no matter whether they're over training in Bedford, whether they're in Longlots or whether they're at the Y, they will all learn the same thing. That will mean they're much stronger when actually they start at Staples High School. And I think this has been a very successful collaboration between PAL, the Y, and Staples to support, the feeder into Staples basketball. And I don't know if this is what we always already seeing, because men's basketball right now is doing amazing,
Great.
so women's. Yeah. But I'm hoping we can strengthen sports in general by working together and making it better for the kids.
Yeah. No, it's a great program,
Yeah.
and Jordan Scher, I know, has
Yes.
done a really good job.
Yeah.
Challenges. What are some of the challenges you face as COO?
Space. Without a doubt, space. As you know, we're on a waiting list right now, which is not really what a Y should be. It should be inclusive, right? But we are under restrictions of PNC. We can maximum have 12,500 members. But I think it's a good thing because we are restricted with space. I wouldn't want to have more members at this point in time because then it's not a great experience to be at the Y. I would love more space because I feel like there are many more things we can do, but we have to wait with that.
Is that a solvable problem?
We only have so much space we can build on. So if and when we would choose to maybe build on that space, we have to make 100% sure it's the right decision.
Yeah.
Because then that's it. We have no more space.
Is there anything you're looking at in terms of space and anything up at Mahakano or anything like that?
Not at this time.
No.
Not at this point in time.
12,500 members. That's a lot.
It's a lot of members.
And
The members that we have, when I'm looking at statistics, more and more showing up more and more often, which is a good thing, but it also does make it crowded, without a doubt.
Were you here when the Y was downtown?
I was not. I came in 2014, so that's right when it started.
Okay,
opening.
right when the move
Yeah.
was made. And it was as I'm sure you know, there was a lot of contention. The Y belongs downtown. There will be all kinds of traffic issues and all that. The traffic is not a problem.
No.
One thing that has been missed is people used to drop their kids off at the Y. They'd go to a restaurant. They'd go shopping.
Yeah.
But I think many of the doubters, myself included, look at the Y now and say, boy, it's a great facility and a great location.
Yeah. We're very lucky. I mean, most people walking into the Y, they're floored because it's just not a normal Y. We're incredibly lucky. It's a beautiful building. And I mean, a town like Westport has such a wonderful place. It's incredible. It's a place for community, right? So not many weeks ago, a couple from New York stopped me. They had moved up and they thanked me. Well, they shouldn't thank me, but they were so happy they found a community because they were worried about moving here. But the thing is, when you go to the Y, I'm sure you're the same, you meet so many people that you know, right? It's just a nice time in a day. You say hey to everybody.
And people are happy.
Yes.
They've got a smile on their face.
Yeah.
Is that something you think about, that we have to make this a good experience for
100%.
people?
No, it has to be community.
And how do you do that? How do you create community?
That's a good question, but part of that is creating programming where there's more than just you clock in and you clock out, right? So, for example, going back to Parkinson or Senior Strong, they're sitting in the lobby and having, they eat cake together or coffee, and it's just like, it's more than just working out. You're creating a family, which is really nice because a lot of people, let's face it, are lonely, even in a community like this. So it's important we have this. And they all seem to look out for each other because it is a small community. And you're going to meet the person you're sitting next to, you know what I mean, in a few weeks probably. So that is everything we do at the Y has a focus on community. That's very important.
It's a pretty friendly staff as well.
Yes.
Do you have anything to do with that?
I don't have anything to do with that, but I think when you work at the Y, you're kind of buying into the, buying into the idea of the why, right? Respect, responsibility, honesty, all these like things that are the core of the why. And if you believe in that, it makes it a more, it makes it a job that just gives you so much more, I think.
Ruth Bedford obviously liked the why. She dropped $40 million in your lap when she passed at about 104 a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It was money that the Y did not know was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And what's been done with that?
Well, among other, the Bedford Social Responsibility Fund gives away, this year they gave away over $300,000. So not only are they trying to protect the money, of course, because that's important, because the money has to last for a long, long time. But it does very good every single year. They're handing out a lot of money to other nonprofits. Besides that, so in total this year, we've given away $900,000, $600,000 in financial aid. You don't think living in a community like this that there are people in need, but there are a lot of people in need, not just in Westport, obviously the surrounding communities. And the $600,000 just speaks volume in terms of the need. We don't just hand money out left and right. We give money to people who can, of course, prove that they have a need, but there's a big need.
Wow.
There's a big need, and that's why it's important that you keep giving to nonprofits, because we do help a lot of people.
So what have you learned about, besides that, and besides the European influence, what have you learned about Westport in the 12 years you've been here?
Again, it goes back to community. I mean, my kids are happy here. The schools are amazing. That's been a big part of it. There is a lot of stress, I would say. I have a high schooler who just went through midterms. A lot of stress. Man. A lot of stress. But I feel like the kids that come out of Staples, they are ready. There's no shock when they get to college, because I feel like the shock is almost in high school. I just love, like, when you celebrate, July 4th down the beach. I can bike down to the beach. I'm lucky. I'm further away, but I'm used to biking. I bike down.
It's Denmark.
But it's amazing. It's an amazing community. Like, we've great downtown. We're so lucky here. There's nothing almost where I'm like, I wish we had it, because then I can take the train to New York City.
Yeah. As COO, do you have contact or partnerships with other organizations?
It's a great question. I have a strong peer group, so I'm very well connected with the CEO of the Darien Y, the Greenwich Y, New Canaan Y. She just left, so I'm trying to connect a new relationship with them. But it's important that we kind of all talk, because we don't have to reinvent something constantly. We learn a lot from each other, right? If I tried a program, and it goes well, I may recommend it to them. So that's a strong partnership where we all help each other, and we meet about once every 2 months and just exchange ideas and talk about challenges and what we learned from it.
New Canaan Y has a cafe.
Yes.
That works, and that's been an issue that you haven't been able to solve, really.
No, but I think we've solved it with a micro-market. The micro-market is doing very well. We tried with a porch. They couldn't because of the labor cost.
Yeah.
And then the issue is the Y opens at 5:30 a.m. and it closes at 9. It's very expensive to have someone work there for that many hours. And we don't want to limit, because in the morning we have people coming in looking for coffee that needs to go down to the train because they're going to the city. So they're very early. And then we have people late at night that's looking for, a snack because they're here while it's really dinner time. So the micro market, in my opinion, is the best solution.
Great. And how about you? Where do you, when you're not at the Y, where do you hang out?
I play tennis. That's my weakness right now. I like to be competitive in tennis. I hang out a lot in the community. I do like to go and see comedy shows in Stamford or go to the city. Try to enjoy life. I like it here.
Oh, that's great. That is great. No pickleball?
Not yet. It's this internal fight, because I do like to run. So, but a pickleball it's very addictive, I've heard. So
we got pickleballers at the Y.
We do have pickleballers at the Y, and some days I'm like, I wish I could just step in and play a little bit. But I will, maybe in the summer when we play pickleball outside.
There you go. Anything I should have asked that I didn't? about the Y, about Christina Scherwin's life? Anything?
I don't know. Just I would like to ask you. You're a member there. What do you like the most?
You know what? I learned to swim there in this tiny little pool filled with chlorine back when you advance from minnow through something else to flying fish.
Yeah.
So I was 6 or 7 years old when I learned to swim at the original Y.
Yeah.
It's been, to me, it is one of those homes away from home. It's as you mentioned, you walk in, you see people you see the same faces, then you see somebody who is a kid on college break who you haven't seen for months. It's just a really, really fun place.
Yeah.
And thank you and your staff, the CEO, Glenn Hale, for making it, one of those places that, as you said, people feel it's part of the community.
Yes.
It's not just a Y, it's part of the community. So thank you for that.
Thank you. And I think what's special is we all look the same in workout clothes. You can't see if you're talking to a CEO or if you're talking to someone on 100% financial aid, right? We're all the same there, which is such a special thing, I think.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Now if we could just get people to get off their phones when they're sitting on a machine, but that's a challenge for another day.
That is a big challenge.
I think it's a challenge everywhere.
Yeah.
Christina Scherwin, COO of the Westport Weston Family YMCA. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I'll see you at the pool.